Hello everyone, this is L5 and welcome to the Government Essential Toy Review. And today so you'll be looking at the 2011 release by Hasbro of the Marvel Universe Marvel's Greatest Battles comic packs featuring Deadpool and Taskmaster action figure review. And today's video is a part 2 video and we'll be focusing our review on Taskmaster. Now I got this straight from a toy shop, which is about 15 or 20 minutes right from my area for 55 ringgit, which is almost the same price as a retail pricing there. Now I've been waiting for this comic pack for many months because I'm a big fan of Taskmaster and was waiting for this comic pack just for the Taskmaster figure, not so much on the Deadpool figure, because he deserved to be made, well, for the figure itself, for the character, he deserved to have a figure in the Marvel Universe form. So I was quite ecstatic to find out that the figure was being made as a Marvel Universe figure. But too bad not as a single card, but trapped with Deadpool in a comic pack. I really wish that Taskmaster being released as a single card rather than being as a, well, 2-pack comic pack, because if you already have a Deadpool figure, chances are, well, if you have a Deadpool figure from the previous line like Wolverine's Origins, and if you got this, chances are you got another Deadpool figure, which is kind of pointless. Well, at least it has a different accessory, of course, but just to get Taskmaster, you end up having another Deadpool, which is, I really don't like that. Now let's take a look at the front portion of the packaging itself. At the bottom section there, you got a nice artwork of Taskmaster. Inside the packaging we have the figure, and he is laden with a few accessories, which is very nice, true to his form, just like the character in the comics. On one side here we have a smaller pistol, which is not wielded onto his right hand. On the other side we have a bow, which is also not wielded on his left hand. At the back of the figure is the shield. At the back of the packaging, you'll notice that's the comic for Cable and Deadpool from Marvel Comics, issue number 36, featuring Taskmaster and Deadpool. At the back of the packaging itself, there's the rest of the wave itself. We have Deadpool and Taskmaster, which is the review is about, and we have Wolverine and Silver Samurai that come along with the comic for Wolverine issue number 2. At the bottom section is Spider-Man and Sentry that comes along with the comic The New Avengers issue number 8, which we already reviewed the last time. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest Taskmaster. Be right back. And we're back after doing your figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now let's take a look at Taskmaster's accessories here. Now bear in mind, this is a Marvel Universe comic pack, so Taskmaster here is not given with a, well, base stand. It's typical for a Marvel Universe comic pack, but it does come with a lot of accessories. However, it is not complete. But first things first, let's take a look at his other accessories, starting off with the sword. Now here we have his sword, which is made of a grey plastic material colored material. The sword's blade has been painted in silver, the hilt and the handle is painted in gold. However, typical of Marvel Universe, especially from Hasbro's Marvel Universe, the paint job is not well done. Bottom section of the sword itself, the blade itself, just near the hilt, you get to see a little bit of the grey plastic material color being shown just near the hilt of the sword there, so the paint job is not really well covered. Furthermore, the paint job of the silver paint job on the blade itself managed to smear just at the top section of the hilt itself. You get to see that on this section here. Now the mold of the sword is actually new, surprisingly enough, but the blade is way too short. It's not a long sword, it's a short sword, which is rather disappointing. Handle of the sword itself is a bit too thin for the figure to hold it properly. It's a bit too loose. It will flail around when you put it onto the hand itself. But you can store the sword onto the sheath located onto the figure's belt. So the sword is a little bit disappointing there. Next we have his pistol, a totally new mold made of a black plastic material color. There's a lot of nice details there. Handle, trigger, magazine, barrel, scope. Nice little details on the gun itself. The figure can still hold it, but a little bit loose. Not that bad. You can still hold it properly. And you can store the pistol onto the right side of the thigh where there's the gun holster there. Then we have his bow, made of a dark brown plastic material color with no paint job at all. Again, I really don't like it when Hasbro didn't even bother to add a string for the bow itself, because you only have a bow without a string, so it looks kind of weird. Furthermore, there's nothing new with this mold. This is the same mold that you can find from the comic pack of the Marvel Universe comic pack of the Secret Wars that Hawkeye has. You can actually store the bow onto the figure itself, while technically storing it by slipping it onto the belt of the quiver or arrows. Speaking of the arrows, here we have the quiver arrows made two different types of plastic material color, dark brown and orange. Now the mold here is also nothing new. This is the same accessory that can be found on Hawkeye as well. Typical, they're gonna reuse the same thing. Now what's interesting to note is that they're given Taskmaster with a bow and a quiver of arrows. What they didn't bother to give him is an arrow. So you can't pose Taskmaster holding the bow and trying to grab an arrow piece from the quiver of arrows. So that's a bit disappointing there. Then we have his shield. Again, this entire shield, if you can guess it, came from Captain America. The entire thing is made of a, well, white plastic material color, so the top section is actually painted. Very well done actually. I really like the clean paint job for the top section of the shield. What I really don't like is that why can't they use a normal clip-on clip, like, you know, instead of having a hinge joint there. It's not going to store it at the back of the figure itself, since they don't bother to put in the straps, as you can see there. So you have this clip with a hinge, and every time you try to clip on this shield onto the figure's wrist, this hinge will start going all over the place. So it's really, really annoying. But the shield's paint job is really nice. I really like it. But the mold is nothing new and it's pretty annoying. Then we have his cape. Now you may think the cape is nothing new, but this cape is actually a new mold. Well, first of all, as you can see, the design of the cape here, especially on this section here, this is meant for the quiver arrows to stick out. So this is quite well done for Hasbro's part. The entire thing is made of a dull orange plastic material color, so the outside of the cape itself is painted in white. So the paint job is actually alright then. As you can see, no part of the orange plastic material color being shown up. And on the neck piece here, you can see it's painted in gold. There's two pieces there, very well done actually. The final accessory, which is not removable, is on the figure's body itself, is the belt with the holster and the sheath. That's a new accessory, as you can see there. And you have a nice little logo of Taskmaster's T logo there. A lot of pouches, sword sheath, the gun holster, more pouches at the back. Too bad you cannot remove it, but it is very nicely done. Because, well, without that, it wouldn't look like Taskmaster's accessory at all. The final accessory, which is not given to Taskmaster, is the Billy Club, the baton from Daredevil. This is the only accessory that's not given to Taskmaster, and I'm really disappointed. They could have easily not make a new mode, just reuse the same mode and give it to Taskmaster, but no, they didn't even bother to give him that. And for the Marvel Legends version, they gave him the baton, but they didn't bother to give him a bow or a quiver of arrows. Ironic, isn't it? Really ironic. Now let's take a look at the figure's paint job. Now you can see majority of the paint applied onto the figure is not actually painted at all. Most of the parts are just pure plastic material color. The only thing that's painted is Well, the neck and this logo here, the torso part is not painted, it's made of a dark blue plastic material color. The waist joint, at least at the abdomen area, is not painted at all, but the crotch area is painted in white due to the white underwear. Shoulder joint here is not painted, that's pure plastic material color. So does the elbow joint as well, as you can see. The entire gloves is not painted, also made of a white plastic material color. Elbow joint is made of a orange plastic material color. Thighs and knee and the lower section of just below the knee is made of a dark blue plastic material color. Same material color as being used for the torso and the abdomen and the shoulders. And for the boots itself is made of a white plastic material color. The head, however, so I'm going to pop the head out first. It's made of a white plastic material color, so the entire hood is not painted at all. It's really hard to try to put back the head in. So the entire head, the entire hood is not painted at all, except for the skull face, which is painted. So does the eyes. But really sloppy paint job on the row of teeth there. As you can see, the white paint job smeared onto the upper section of the lips there. It's not really well done. Let's take a look at the figures mold. Again, entire figures mold, majority of the parts are all reused parts, except for a few parts there. First things first, the torso, the elbow joints, the waist, the entire pair of legs are all reused parts. Especially on the lower part of the legs itself, it came from Captain America and Hawkeye. The torso, the waist, the arms itself, not counting the lower section of the gloves itself. This is all from the same figure from Captain America as well. So there's nothing new there. The gloves is also from Captain America, if you haven't noticed. Except for the head sculpt. The head sculpt is totally new mold. However, when you place everything onto the figure, remove everything that is not part of the figure itself, like all the accessories, you can see the neck joint is way too long because it's not meant for the figure. As you can see there, it looks freakishly long. Now the head mold is actually quite nicely done. I really like the head mold. Looks just like Taskmaster, except with the sloppy smudge paint job onto the row of teeth there. Everything on the figure, it looks pretty well done on the head mold. I really like the new head mold there. Quite detailed stuff, looks like a human skull. Got a nice hood there. But everything else on the figure is nothing that spectacular. It looks pretty meh. Let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head can pivot up and down, side to side, and turn 360 degrees. Torso can move down, back, cannot go side to side, not by much anyway, turn 360 degrees. Shoulder joints here can turn 360 degrees and lift the arms this high. Upper bicep here can turn 360 degrees. Elbow joint can bend this far, straight, and wrist joint here, the entire glove is can be turned and swivel 360 degrees. Hip joints here can move forward this high, back a little bit, and to the sides. Double jointed knee that bends this far, and the entire boots here, the sole joint on just below the knee can turn 360 degrees, and the ankle joint here can pivot downwards and upwards. Now let's fully equip Taskmaster with all the accessories. Let's put in the quiver of arrows, like so. Put in the cape. As you can see how they designed the cape itself, so the quiver arrows will show up. Very, very smart of Hasbro. As you can see, if the neck joint is not so long, it wouldn't look a little bit weird if it's equipped with all the stuff. But still, it still looks pretty long. You can see that very long neck. Now we slip in this piece on the other side. Maybe I turn it this way. Yes, much better. Have the sword slip in to the sheath like so. With the sheath and the sword together, it hinders the figure's articulation a little bit on the arms itself. Have him place the pistol. There you have it. And finally, his final accessory will be the shield, which is going to be a little bit annoying due to the hinge joint there. As you can see, it's really difficult to try to clip onto the wrist joint due to the hinge joint there. There you have it. Nice and easy. Now to place the figure standing position, because he is so back heavy with all the accessories going on. So there you have it. Taskmaster with all the accessories on, and he is missing the baton though, which is rather disappointing. With all the accessories on, he does look pretty nice though. I really like it. But if you, well, try to investigate deeper for the figure itself, it doesn't seem to look very well. But with all the accessories on, he does look pretty nice. Although I am disappointed that he is missing the baton, at least give him a piece of arrow. That will make the figure look way more better. Other than that, it still looks pretty nice. So if I'm going to give a rating out of this, although he is not given with any new parts like a swivel joint for the thighs itself, articulated wrist joints or toe joints, but it still is a very nice figure. So if I'm going to give a rating out of this, I'll give it a nice 8 out of 10. Yes, 8 out of 10 for the Marvel Universe Taskmaster. And I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.